saw it.
Man, I feel like he fooled me. He's not my friend.
Whoa.
I was fooled, but in life you get fooled. But you know what? He said,
What? They don't want you to say
listen,
nothing?
but in life, forget Joe, because they don't want me to talk about Joe.
Okay,
So I won't talk
okay.
about Joe. I'll talk about life, right? And in life, everyone goes through friends, people who you thought was your friend. I'm not talking about Joe. Let me talk. So in life, I've had countless friends come and go. But you know what remains consistent and why I get through all of this?
Why?
My family. Because I don't really need friends. You know, I don't really need friends. I'm more than content with going home and spending time with my mom. Like, I'm a weird dude like that. I guess that's weird, right? I'd rather be at home with my mom, laughing and joking, and with my brothers and sisters. It's something that my mother used to say, because I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, right? So it was the crack epidemic, everything. So my mother used to always say when I was a little boy, don't play with nobody. Play with your brothers and sisters, because it was safe. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of like stuck with me. But that also, I accept people and I embrace people as my family. Everyone who's around me, who's my close friends, I deem my family. You know what I'm saying? That they're my extended family. So friends, you know, it happens. They come and go. You know, people may be jealous of you on the low. You know, I just signed a deal for $300 million. I know certain people who's my friends, my so-called friends, they may be mad at that. They may have some jealousy and envy with that, and that's cool. We ain't got to be friends no more. I'm totally fine with me and my immediate family. I don't need any new friends or any old friends who pretended they was my friends, but they revealed themselves. They're not my friends.
Question: do you regret anything you said about Ashanti on a Drinks Champ interview and revealing this relationship that y'all had?
When I said I was going to do the doc, I said to myself, you're not going to do another doc. So this is it. When I agreed with BET on giving them my doc, I said to me, and I said to everyone who was a part of my doc, which is every one of my artists, everyone who worked for me, they're all on the doc. And I said, hey, guys, girls, tell your truth. Even if it's saying bad things about me, say it. I said, because I've watched countless documentaries where I know the story, and I'm like, yo, they lying, yo.
Okay.
It didn't happen that way. They're lying. And I'm just not that guy. The one thing that you got to know about me is I am cool in my gangster. I am cool with who I am as a person. So that gives me the ability to talk about things that the normal person won't talk about. I don't care. I don't care. It's my truth. It's my life. It's my story. This is what happened. Now, if you're mad about that, if you're mad that I had relationships, or if you're mad that I had this, or you're mad that I divorced my wife or whatever like that, and, you know, that makes you angry, I'm sorry. But I didn't want to be married no more and treating on her like a savage. So I told Deb my truth. Yo, I'm a cheating bastard, yo. And it was her that said, okay, thank you for that. Thank you, because now I feel better, but you gotta leave. And I said, okay. And we raised beautiful children. You know, everyone gets, how could you say all of this with your kids? My kids know exactly who their dad is. They know I'm crazy as a mother. They know I'm going to say whatever is my truth. They know everything. And you know what else? They love me to death. And I love them more. You understand? So when y'all say, oh, your daughter, and what if this happens to you? I'm like, what? Y'all wishing bad on my daughter now? Okay, that's cool. Nothing's happening to my daughter, because my daughter is the coolest, most beautifulest person in the world. You know what I'm saying? She's a cool, beautiful person. You know what I'm saying? Who's now rich. You know what I'm saying? And they going to get rich. So if you're mad at that, if you're mad at me being rich, guess what? You're going to get madder.
It's Al Could and OG Rap from Most Valid Opinion Podcast Uncensored. The big fella couldn't make it. We're going to do our duties for him. We want to chime in a little bit on this whole Irv Gotti, Fat Joe situation. For those that don't know, Irv Gotti went on the Drink Champs the other day, and, you know, he was feeling nice on that Uptown Haze. You know, that shit you be like, OG.
Mm-hmm.
He was smoking, he was drinking, and he started getting a little spicy out the mouth, you know, saying a little extraness. We ain't even gonna talk about the Ashanti situation. We're gonna talk about what he said about Fat Joe and the whole versus thing. And then Fat Joe ain't really like the way he was spoke about, so Fat Joe got at him. And now Irv Gotti responded. Yo, OG, do you think this is deeper than just that versus that happened last year?
First of all, I want to say, what's up, YouTube? Shout outs to everyone in Most Valid Opinion. M.V.O, we here. Man, I think this stems back to like the 50 Cent thing, when him and Fat Joe squashed their beef at the Chris Lighty funeral, which respectfully was the right thing to do. Especially at the time, that was something Lighty always wanted them to do. They weren't able to squash their beef when he was alive. So, I definitely think Herb sour over that.
So this shit is much deeper than some verses because Fat Joe seemed like he wanted to be the big brother to Ashanti. He was not feeling Irv Gotti calling her a bitch and all that, which is ironic because didn't Fat Joe call some Murder Inc. chicks bitches last year at the verses?
Yeah, little Mo.
Vita and
Vita.
fucking and Charlie Baltimore, I think. No, it wasn't Charlie Baltimore.
Yeah, she was on the
You're right. It was Little Mo. It was Vita.
Yeah.
It was Vita and Little Mo.
Well, you got these girls from the crack house. I don't want to say the
Yeah,
word.
yo, he OD'd. I mean, Vita did look like she could use a few glizzies and a few burgers, but she's always been slim anyways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic that, Fat Joe was calling them chicks bitches, and now he's mad that Irv Gotti is calling Ashanti, his ex, a bitch. So it has to be something deeper than that. And I think you're right. I think it has to do with the whole 50 Cent situation. You're forgetting that Irv almost lost it all when the feds came. So he feels, remember, he's a Cancer. 50's a Cancer. So I'm a Cancer. So we have this thing where if you go against us, the whole world is going against us. And if you're not with me, it's fuck you. Plain and simple. If you're not with me while I'm fighting this battle, going against all odds, you're against me. So I feel Irv Gotti in a certain way. And honestly, I don't even think he really dissed Fat Joe. He was really putting on for Ja Rule and what Ja Rule could do and what Ja Rule did in the verses. Just Fat Joe didn't like how spicy Irv Gotti said it. But I think Irv does have a little something in his back pocket over Fat Joe and 50 Cent going on yacht parties and all types of BFF stuff.
It's funny how you brought up the whole yacht thing because, Fat Joe had mentioned numerous times on how he tried to squash the beef between Herb and 50, and it's something that goes in one ear and out the other when he brings it up to Herb. He probably mentioned this to 50. 50 probably gave him some valid points about Herb and made Fat Joe think, which is probably why he called him a sucker. So, I think you hit a good point there.
Canceled him.
Yeah, probably. And I mean, once upon a time when Fat Joe needed to restart his career, because a lot of people forgot when Big Pun died, it took a lot, it took a toll out the whole TS. So Fat Joe was not really active for about 2 years. And remember, Fat Joe, back in the days, he was a hardcore rapper. It wasn't until Irv Gotti and What's Love, and they put Ashanti on the hook and Ja Rule on the hook. What's love got to do with it? Is that Fat Joe made that big crossover? Oh yeah, and that song R. Kelly around that time too.
Yeah. Yeah, I credit Irv Gotti for a lot. He did a lot for Fat Joe. And it's the same in return because you gotta put up to make a hit as well.
So what do you feel about Fat Joe calling Irv Gotti a sucker?
I think that was the trigger point for Irv Gotti to respond the way he did. Fat Joe calling him a sucker, I can understand where Fat Joe's coming from.
Yeah.
Back to the point that you made with Fat Joe making comments towards, Vita and Murder Inc. squad.
Exactly. So I think when Fat Joe did that at versus, Irv and Ja looking at him like, wait, aren't we supposed to be cool? You're going a little bit overboard.
Like Irv came out, called him a sucker. Neither did Ja. No one disrespected Fat Joe from their side.
So the conclusion to all this is
This ain't over no verses, B. This is deeper than the verses. And if it is a little bit about the verses, it's Fat Joe calling Vita and Lil Mo a bitch, and Irv Gotti not elaborating so heavy on it. And now Irv Gotti starts dropping the B word, and he see Fat Joe's elaborating a lot on it, and it's like, damn, you supposed to be my mans, right? Like, it's like you want me to get in trouble type shit. I get it. So yeah, final conclusion is this is deeper than verses. This all has to do with 50 Cent. And I get it, man. I get it. It's Most Valid Opinion. M.V.O out.